Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Engineering Mathematics DJ Ganit. In this lecture we will discuss one more question on path independence of line integrals. This question was asked in GTU Winter 2019 exam. The question is, show that line integral x y square plus y cube dx plus x square y plus 3x y square dy between the points 1, 2 to 3, 4 is independent of path joining the points 1, 2 and 3, 4. Hence evaluate the integral. Here first we have to prove that this line integral is independent of path. We are given 2 points 1, 2 and 3, 4 in a plane, and we have to first show that this integral has same value along any path joining these 2 points. That means we have to prove that line integral is path independent, and for that we have to show that this differential form is exact, or if we consider this vector field f bar with components x y square plus y cube and x square y plus 3xy square, then we have to prove that this f bar is a conservative vector field to show that this integral is independent of path. So first we will prove that this function vector field f bar is a conservative vector field, and therefore this integral is independent of path. And once we know that f bar is conservative, we can write f bar as a gradient of some scalar function. So we will determine that scalar function for vector field f bar, and using fundamental theorem of line integral, value of this line integral will be equal to value of that scalar function f at endpoints f of 3, 4 minus f of 1, 2. Here we are not given any curve between these 2 points, because it is given that, or we have to prove that line integral is independent of path joining the 2 points 1, 2 and 3, 4. That means line integral will have the same value along any path joining these 2 points. So it is not necessary to give a curve joining these 2 points, and we have to use fundamental theorem of line integral to determine the value of this integral. So first we denote this vector field by f bar, and we can see f bar is defined on all of R2, that is f bar is defined at every point in R2, and we know that these functions, these component functions are polynomials, and clearly they have first order continuous partial derivatives, and we have to show that curl of f bar is a 0 vector. So for that we can use the component test for conservative vector field. So here we have only 2 components, so this component is differentiated with respect to y partially, and we take derivative of this component partially with respect to x. If these 2 partial derivatives are equal, then field is conservative. So first we have taken partial derivative of this component x y square plus y cube with respect to y, and we consider x as constant while taking derivative with respect to y. So here derivative will be x constant, derivative of y square is 2y, that is 2xy, plus derivative of y cube with respect to y is 3y square, and derivative of second component with respect to x. So here we will consider y as constant. So y constant, derivative of x square is 2x with respect to x, plus 3y square constant, derivative of x is 1, and we can see both of these derivatives are equal. Therefore we can say that f bar is a conservative vector field on R2, and because f bar is conservative, this differential form is exact, and therefore this line integral is independent of path joining the points 1, 2 and 3, 4. and because f bar is conservative on R2, there exists a scalar function f on R2 such that f bar will be equal to gradient of that scalar function. And now we are interested in this potential function for this conservative field f bar. For that we put values of f bar and this gradient of f, and then we compare two vectors. So this is f bar, gradient of f by definition del f by del x I plus del f by del y j. Because we are working in R2, we are writing two components for gradient of f. Now these two vectors are equal if corresponding components are equal. Therefore del f by del x will be equal to x y square plus y cube. Del f by del y will be equal to x square y plus 3xy square. And we have partial derivatives of required scalar function f with respect to x and y. And from these two equations we have to decide this potential function. So we can start with any of these two equations. Suppose we start with equation 1, then to obtain this potential function from this equation 1, we have to integrate partially both sides with respect to x. Integral of del f by del x with respect to x is fxy, and here y square is constant. Integral of x is x square by 2 plus y cube is constant. Integral of 1 with respect to x is x. Okay, we have this type of situation. We are integrating this equation both sides partially with respect to x. That means we consider y as constant. So here we have x y square plus y cube. Integral is with respect to x. And because y is considered as constant, we will write constant of integration as a function of y. Now this integral is y square is constant. Integral of x is x square by 2 plus y cube is constant. Integral of 1 with respect to x is x plus g of y. So this is the way how we have obtained this. So we have y square x square by 2 plus y cube x plus g of y, and we have to decide this g of y, which we don't know what is g of y. So to decide g of y, we will use this second equation. To use the second equation, first we have to differentiate this with respect to y partially. So del f by del y is, we are differentiating with respect to y. So x square by 2 is constant. Derivative of y square is 2y. Here x is constant. Derivative of y cube is 3y square. And this is function of y only. Therefore we write dg by dy. That is ordinary derivative of g with respect to y. And therefore del f by del y will be equal to 2 will cancel out, y x square plus 3y square x plus dg by dy. And in the next step we substitute value of this del f by del y from equation number 2, x square y plus 3xy square. So we substitute this value here. All these things are as it is. And then if we consider dg by dy, we can see if we transfer this on this side, we will have dg by dy equal to 0. And g is function of y only, therefore g of y is constant. So c is a constant. And finally we put value of g in equation 3, and we will have our potential function fxy equal to x square y square by 2 plus xy cube plus c. And once we have potential function, we can decide the value of given line integral. Given line integral is line integral between these 2 points. So this is going to be equal to value of potential function at point 34 minus value of potential function at point 12. That is by fundamental theorem for line integrals. This is equal to f of 34 minus f of 12. F bar dot dr bar means our integral. Here in our integral we are given in this form. So here we have, if we consider f bar we have already taken as xy square plus x cube, comma x square y plus 3xy square, and dr bar we consider as dx dy. And if we take dot product of f bar and dr bar, we will have xy square plus y cube dx plus x square y plus 3xy square into dy. So we can rewrite this as integral from 1 to 2 3 4. This differential form is nothing but dot product of vector field f bar and dr bar. So we have written in that form here. By fundamental theorem of line integrals, this line integral is equal to value of potential function at 3 4 minus value of potential function at 1 2, and we have this potential function now. So in that potential function, first we put x equal to 3, y equal to 4. So for x equal to 3, here we will have 9, this will give me 16 divided by 2 plus 3 into 4 raised to 3 plus c. So that we have written here. Similarly, value of potential function at point 1 2. So x is 1, y is 2. So here we have 1 into 4 divided by 2, 1 into 2 raised to 3, that is 8 plus c. And if we simplify all these things, c will get cancelled here. We can write here also, and value of line integral is 254. So this is another example about the path independence of line integrals. We have discussed this type of question in lecture number 16 also for function of 3 variables. Here we have our vector field as a function of 2 variables, and we have first shown that this line integral is independent of path. Therefore we find out potential function for the conservative field f bar, and after obtaining this function f of xy, this is very easy. It is equal to value of potential function at terminal point minus value of potential function at starting point, and we find that value of line integral is 254. This means if we take any curve joining the points 1 2 and 3 4, if we take any curve joining these 2 points, any curve like this or this, or we can have this type of curve also, we can have this type of curve also. For any curve joining these 2 points, value of line integral will be equal to 254, because line integral is independent of path, and that value is obtained by using potential function at upper limit minus potential function at lower limit. This is by fundamental theorem for line integrals. So in this way we can use fundamental theorem for line integrals to find out value of the integral, and whenever we have this type of problems, the underlying vector field will always be conservative, and we know that if f bar is conservative, line integral is independent of path, and if f bar is conservative, we can write f bar as gradient of potential function, and using that potential function and by fundamental theorem of line integral, we are able to write down this line integral as a difference of value of potential function at upper limit minus value of potential function at lower limit. So this is all about this session. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.